Imagine walking quietly in the forest when your dog suddenly starts barking at something hidden in the bushes. You find a tiny, strange creature with no fur, shaking and alone. What is it? And where did it come from? This mysterious discovery will change everything. This is the story of a man named Liam who lived in Daylesford, Victoria, with his dog Mario. Liam was a kind and friendly man. He loved helping others and cared deeply for his dog. When Liam first moved to the town, he didn't know anyone. Life felt a bit lonely until he adopted Mario. From that day, everything changed. Liam spent every weekend with Mario and took him for walks every morning. One quiet morning, just like always, Liam and Mario were walking on a forest trail near their home. But something was different. Mario, who was usually calm, started acting strangely. He pulled on the leash and barked near a bush. Liam knew something was wrong. Curious and a little worried, Liam walked over to the bush. He gently moved the branches aside to see what had caught Mario's attention. That's when Liam saw something surprising, something he didn't expect at all. There was a tiny, bald creature lying under the thick leaves. At first, Liam thought it was a baby rabbit, but something looked different. It had no fur, just smooth, pink skin. Its eyes were closed, and it made a soft, tiny sound. "What are you?" Liam whispered as he bent down. The little creature was shaking. It looked scared and alone. Liam felt a strong pull in his heart. Maybe her parents are gone, or she got lost, he said to Mario. Liam didn't know what she was, but he knew one thing for sure. He couldn't leave her there. He gently picked her up and walked home, wondering what kind of little life he had just saved. Back at his house, Liam placed the tiny, bald creature on the kitchen counter and looked at her closely. She was very small, much smaller than any baby rabbit he had seen. Her skin was pink and smooth, and her little body was cold. She could not open her eyes, and she moved very slowly. Liam could tell she was hungry, but he didn't know what to feed her. He started to worry. "I need help," he said to himself. He picked up the phone and called the local vet. After hearing Liam's story, the vet sounded curious. "Bring her in," he said. "I want to see her myself." Liam gently wrapped the little creature in a soft towel and drove to the clinic. He was confused and curious. What kind of animal was this? At the clinic, the vet carefully checked the creature. He gave her fluids to help with dehydration and fed her a little liquid using a dropper. Then the vet stopped and looked puzzled. "This isn't a rabbit," he said slowly. "Some parts look like a rabbit, but others are very different. Her belly, her ears, even her tiny bones, they don't match." Liam looked at him, surprised. "Then, what is she?" "I'm not sure yet," the vet said. "She's still very young. As she grows, we might be able to tell what she really is. If you're ready to care for her, we'll figure it out together." Liam nodded and asked what to feed her. Then he brought her home again and placed her in his dog's old basket, right next to his bed. In the next few days, the little creature started to feel better. Liam fed her on time and told the vet how she was doing each day. She ate tiny meals and slowly began to stretch her small legs. Bit by bit, dark fur started to grow on her pink skin. She was changing fast. Liam felt a strong bond growing. She wasn't just a mystery anymore. She was part of his life. She made soft squeaks when she wanted attention, nuzzled his hand when he sat nearby, and followed him from room to room like a shadow. Everything was going well until one night, something strange happened. Liam was fast asleep when a loud bang woke him up. His heart raced as he jumped out of bed and ran downstairs. The back door was wide open. Outside, the metal trash cans had fallen over, and garbage was spread all across the yard. "That must have been the noise," Liam whispered, trying to calm down. But deep down, something felt off. He was sure, completely sure, that he had locked the door before going to bed. Inside the house, things looked even worse. The pantry was a mess. Food wrappers were torn, jars were open, and coffee grounds were all over the kitchen floor. It looked like a wild animal, or maybe a bunch of them, had thrown a party while he slept. Then Liam noticed something strange. There were tiny brown footprints on the floor. They were wet with coffee and led all the way through the living room, straight to the little creature's sleeping basket. Liam stared in shock. "Did you really do all this?" he asked, looking down at her. She looked up with big, innocent eyes, as if she had done nothing at all. The next morning, still confused, Liam took her to the vet. He explained everything. The vet ran a few tests and told Liam to wait 2 or 3 days for the results. When Liam mentioned the back door and the mess, the vet said, "Maybe you forgot to lock the door. A wild animal could have come in." But Liam knew he had locked it. He had no proof, but a strong feeling something wasn't right. He hoped it was a one-time thing, but it wasn't. Every night for the next few weeks, something strange happened. Liam would wake up to find his house in a mess again. Plants knocked over, food missing, pillows on the floor. And every morning, the little creature would be in her bed, fast asleep, looking as sweet and calm as ever. She was growing quickly. Her tiny body was now stronger, her fur darker and thicker. She wasn't a baby anymore. Liam still didn't know what kind of animal she was, but he had grown to love her. He started calling her his little night explorer. Still, he wanted answers. One night, he decided to stay awake and watch. Around midnight, there was another crash downstairs. Liam quickly looked at her basket. She was awake, sitting up and staring at him. He rushed downstairs and froze. His living room was full of small, furry animals. 6 of them were running around, knocking over boxes, chewing on furniture, and playing with his things. Just then, his phone rang. It was the veterinarian. "I think I know what your little friend is," the vet said. "She's a Chinese naked wombat. They're very rare. When they're babies, they have no fur. But the odd part is, they never live alone. If there's one, there are always more." Liam looked around at the mess, then smiled. "I know," he said with a laugh. "They're all here now." His now fully furred friend ran down the stairs and joined her wombat family. They squeaked and bounced around happily, like a group that had finally found each other again. Liam watched with a smile. They were so full of joy. It was clear they belonged together. Then, something surprising happened. One of the wombats walked over to a corner of the kitchen and pushed on a loose floorboard. To Liam's amazement, the board lifted up, revealing a small tunnel leading under the house. That's how they had been sneaking in all this time. Liam finally had the answer. His house had been sitting right on top of a hidden wombat tunnel. But now, he had a hard choice to make. He loved the little creature he had rescued. But he knew the rules. Keeping wombats as pets was not allowed. And more than that, he didn't want to separate her from her family again. He called the vet, and together they gently guided the wombats into the garage. Then they drove them to a wildlife sanctuary about 30 minutes away. At the gate, a kind woman welcomed them. "You're just in time," she said with a smile. The wombats were led into a big green area filled with trees, grass, and other animals. They looked happy right away. But just as Liam turned to go, the little wombat squealed loudly. She didn't want him to leave. The woman noticed and said kindly, "We don't usually do this, but if you'd like, you can come visit her every week." Liam's face lit up. "I'd love that," he said. 6 months later, the once hairless baby had grown into a strong, happy wombat. She lived with her family and had everything she needed. Liam became a regular volunteer at the sanctuary. Every week, he helped care for animals and never missed a visit with his special friend. What started as a strange night in the forest had turned into something wonderful. Because sometimes, the smallest creature can bring the biggest change. And sometimes, getting a little lost helps you find exactly where you belong.